Bethesda has now revealed almost all of the 26 new Creation Club content releases coming to Skyrim Anniversary Edition. And I'm not talking about the trailer that they released that I already did a video on. No, because since then, Bethesda have shared lots of screenshots which actually show off over 20 of the new Creation Club releases coming to Skyrim Anniversary Edition. So now I can pretty much share with you all the new Creation Club content that you'll be getting in the Skyrim Anniversary Edition update. From quest mods, armor, mounts and weapons. Do make sure you subscribe if you want to stay up to date for my full review at launch. But now let's take a look. Everything's timestamped below. Starting out at number 1, we have farming. This was something I never expected, but I'm genuinely excited about. You can now build, upgrade and manage your own farmstead in the heart of Whiterun. Just like Nazim, perhaps you'll finally get to visit the Cloud District too. In this DLC, you get to elect a steward to oversee the farm's day-to-day operations. And you can also purchase upgrades such as an animal pen, windmills, apiaries and stables for your farm. You'll even be able to grow your own crops, tend your animals, and other new gameplay mechanics. We don't really know the depth of these new gameplay mechanics or what we'll have to do, but the whole concept of owning and actually running a farm in Skyrim is really unique and unexpected compared to the daily dungeoneering or village slaughters we usually experience when playing the game. It will actually be nice to, for the first time, roleplay a normal peasant who owns a farm. What do you guys think about this one in the comment section? In at number 2, we have our first new weapon, the Bow of Shadows, forged by the daedric god Nocturnal and used, get this, by assassins. It actually grants you the gift of invisibility and speed. Since you can only play a stealth archer in Skyrim, this is going to be a dream for many players. I assume the speed boost will help us escape the scene of our murderous crimes, while the invisibility makes us almost impossible to detect for sneak attacks. Next at number 3, we have the Fearsome Fists. Finally, this adds 15 new gauntlets to the game that can be either crafted or purchased, or found in loot around the world of Skyrim. These 15 gauntlets are affixed with spiked knuckles, blades or horns coming out of your fists that increase the damage you do with unarmed attacks. Now, unarmed combat has always been the weakest form of damage in Skyrim, unless you're playing a Khajiit. It's very good early in the game, but it then scales quite badly as you start to level. Since damage is not affected by the one-handed perk skill tree, and you instead need to rely on enchantments. And even then the damage cap is pretty low. So I'm hoping that these new unarmed gauntlets actually give you enough damage late game to turn you into an unarmed killing machine. Sub for my review on this one. In at number 4, we have Bittercup, a new quest that takes place in the forests of Falkreath. Apparently in the forest lies a mysterious altar that is promising the gift of a single boon. Now this altar has 3 pedestals, so maybe there is a choice of 3 different boons or powers that we can obtain for our character. Bittercup, which is the name of this piece of Creation Club content, is actually a reference to a daedric artifact that existed in Morrowind. It was actually pretty awesome. It was worth 100,000 gold, and it would also increase the highest attribute that your character had by 20 points, but decrease your lowest attribute by 20 points as well. I don't know what it will do in Skyrim, but it will be cool to have another Daedric style quest from Clavicus Vial at the very least. Hopefully more than a single note that you have to read. Now, attached to this particular questline, we also see what appears to be a gladiator. She has an imperial helmet, which is clearly unique, and it's sort of a gladiator Roman style. She also has a unique gladiator sword, which we've also not seen before. So there's actually going to be a quest line clearly attached to this, but rather disappointingly this means that there won't be an arena quest line added to Skyrim, which I'm a little bit upset about because I was very excited for this after I saw this particular screenshot for the first time in the trailer. Next up at number 5 we have the Headsman's Cleaver, owned by the Bloodfall Queen, a character you've never heard of from the Elder Scrolls Blades mobile game that Bethesda avoided sending me to review because it had pay-to-win mechanics. But hey, mobile games are about making money, and so are businesses, and if that makes the Elder Scrolls 6 better, it's okay. So this is the giant halberd that was stolen from the Bloodfall Queen by low-level bandits somehow. Not sure how they managed that, but you need to retrieve it for her, and then you can keep it for yourself. I like that the weapon has a backstory, and I hope we have halberd animations. It does look like the way this character's holding it that it's a two-handed hammer, but just with a halberd glaive on the end. Next we have number 6, our first player home, Bloodchill Manor. It looks pretty damn cool, to be honest. It's perched high in the northern mountains of Skyrim and looks nothing like any other house that you can get in the game. It's about time we had a creepy villa, and this is, in that sense, a unique player home that features several multi-level living quarters, including a dungeon area for your satanic practices, and also coffins for when you're done. Perfect for vampire characters, truly. Finally, you have a player home for Serana to sleep comfortably at night. It's also made by Eleonora, who is one of the best player home creators in the Skyrim modding community, so I'll definitely be checking this one out. Next at number 7 we have Goldbrand, a new legendary golden katana that has actually been featured in, I think of all the weapons, this golden katana has been featured in pretty much every Elder Scrolls game. It's been in Morrowind, Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls Legends, and Arena. I'm not so sure about the Elder Scrolls Blades because again I haven't played it. But interestingly, it was forged by the ancient dragons and it was given to a great knight that was sworn to protect them. So it deals fire damage. Very on brand there. To claim it, you need to find the original owner's resting place. No spoilers on who that may be. Next at number 8 we have the contest. To enter you must like the video. This is actually a new quest with a unique weapon and armor as a reward that sees 2 warriors embroiled in an argument over if they can kill a notorious monstrous spider. You can actually follow along and see what happens in this quest. The legendary spider is actually a spider boss from the Elder Scrolls Blades originally. And after you've dispatched this particular monster, you'll be able to obtain the Fists of Radengalf that you may remember from Morrowind. They actually used to boost your strength and agility. You'll also be getting the Ice Blade of the Monarch, a two-handed sword from Morrowind, which is imbued with frost damage. Interestingly, by the way, all of these weapons and Creation Club content that I'm talking about pretty much in this video already exist for free as mods on the Nexus. So if you just want to write down and Google any of this stuff, you can get it for free also. I know not everyone has the money to repeatedly buy the same game again and again, but I will review it and tell you my honest opinions about it once this stuff releases. Next at number 9 though, we have the Necromantic Grimoire. This is a Necromancer themed DLC which adds a new Necromancer robe and 13 new Necromancer spells. Some of them let you conjure a variety of powerful armored skeleton warriors and mages, or even skeletal archers. Your own skeleton army. But then I remember that you can only conjure 2 characters at once. And then I remember that I also made a build that allows you to conjure forth all of your dead enemies several years ago. And I think that's honestly cooler. But what is really cool in this Creation Club content is the Bone Colossus, which is also summonable and it looks damn awesome. All these items in this mod also appear in loot around the game, so you can acquire the spells like that too. Oh, what's this? Hans, another Dwarven player home, but with a twist. This is a Dwemer home that you can live in, obviously, and it also gives you access to the ability to build automatrons from the house's manufactory. We previously had a staff. Let us summon Dwemer spheres and also spiders, so hopefully we'll have access to a Dwemer Centurion follower here, but who knows? Next at number 11, this creation adds another 7 new staffs from the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind into the game. These staffs can be brought from Master Neoloth in Solstheim, and they come with unique enchantments as well if you actually buy the staffs from him specifically, or you can buy the unenchanted versions and enchant them yourself using the enchanting altar for staffs, which is in his giant mushroom house. The staff designs are really cool though, so I was happy to hear that you can put your own spells on them. Next we have the Elder Scrolls 6 Redguard. Only some of you will get that joke, but this lets you connect with a bunch of Redguard agents named Remnants that you'll probably meet again in the Elder Scrolls 6 and help them recover one of their own from the Thalmor. What an awesome sounding questline that holds weight in the lore. I love the sound of this. The mod includes a brand new set of light armor, which you can see here, plus 2 new weapons, such as the legendary Yokuden sword Bone Shaver, which is also in the Elder Scrolls Blades. It's canon now. Next at number 13, we have one of the more major quest lines. This one is called The Cause, and in this quest line, the Mythic Dawn returns, scavenging pieces to build and open another Oblivion gate to the realm of their master, Merunus Dagon. Bless him, he's been trying for generations. In this adventure, you'll hunt down the Mythic Dawn cult, last seen in the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which is a great game if you haven't played it. They're trying to reconstruct one of the gates from that Oblivion crisis, and it's up to you to stop them. Your adventure is going to take you underground to the ancient Aelid ruins of Reveal. Not only is it an opportunity to revisit this classic dungeon, but also fight its undead inhabitants, the Wights. A new enemy type and also a new boss type with unique Aelid staff, which stats I showed you in the last video. And apparently defeating this mouldering leader will teach you more of the Mythic Dawn's plans. Additionally, the Aelid Ruin dungeon kit that this dungeon was created with is being added to the base game as a free modders resources for both PC, Xbox and PlayStation. This means that even on PlayStation, you guys are going to have access to any new Aelid dungeons that any mod creators make for the game that you can then download and play for yourself, which is pretty damn cool for you guys. Now, The Cause is a multi-layered and multi-site adventure. In addition to the new enemies, it also adds new gear to obtain, and even a summonable daedric horse and weapons. The only other summonable mounts was Arvak, which is a great mount, but this one is equally cool in my opinion. Like, they did a really good job by the sounds of it with this particular questline, so I'm very excited to experience it myself. Next up, we have the other huge questline, number 14, the Ghosts of the Tribunal. This lets you reclaim the relics of Morrowind, including powerful artifacts like Hope's Fire and True Flame. Now, most consider the Tribunal Temple to be a thing of the past. They assume no one would still worship the so-called living gods of Alamalexia and Sothasil and Vivek. Apparently, not all people have moved on from the Tribunal, and some cults remain following the old ways. In the Ghosts of the Tribunal, this questline, you have the opportunity to assist and rebuild one of these rebel groups, or you can wipe them out completely. I actually love that there's a choice here. Whichever you choose though, this adventure is going to reward you with new gear inspired by the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. I don't know if there's going to be like some gear that you can't obtain depending on the choice you make. It'll be interesting if you can obtain everything from this DLC or not. Some of the things you can get though are the Ancient Ordinator's armor as well as the holy masks of the Tribunal themselves. You can also wield impressive weapons like Megabane, the Cleaver of St. Felms, and Skull Crusher. And with this arsenal, you can also face off against the vestige of an ancient foe. Who might that be? Don't want to spoil it, but interesting from a lore perspective. Next at number 15, Gallows Hall. This will be an old fort filled with undead, where only a necromancer may be at home. For those that can survive the dungeon, there will be many disturbing treasures to claim, including the legendary Bloodworm helmet from Oblivion, the Helm of Orion Bearclaw from Morrowind, which used to fortify your stamina and agility, but also you can get the Staff of Worms to wield the power of Manamako himself, which many of you will remember from the previous Elder Scrolls games and even the Elder Scrolls Online. Finally, we have the final 8 Creation Club items, which are going to be individual alternative armors, some of which are inspired by the Elder Scrolls Blades, most of which in fact. These are just alternate versions of armor that already exist in Skyrim. I think the alternate armor is very cool for variety, but I wish you would see bandits and enemies use the alternate armors that you own, because that would actually improve the gameplay even more. For example, different bandits in like all the variations of the iron armor. It would just be more thematic and interesting than one specific armor type that they're all wearing. I mean, you're not really going to go back and trade your dragonbone armor for a lower class armor set just because you think it looks cool. I mean, you may for a bit for roleplay reasons, but most people probably won't bother and therefore may skip some of these cool looking alternative armor mods. Now, if you've been following so far, you'll know that you're going to be getting the previous Creation Club content that's already been released for free with Skyrim Anniversary Edition. However, if you just own Skyrim Special Edition already, you'll be getting the Saints and Seducers DLC, Survival Mode, Rare Curios, and the new fishing mechanic. Now, we have got some more information about the fishing mechanic, namely the quests that have been added to the game surrounding fishing jobs. Swims Deep in Water is an Argonian who can teach you about fishing, and then the Redguard Varia will give you orders and special requests that you actually have to go out and catch some fish. There are certain locations that are going to have different types of fish that you can catch, and all of these fish can be collected within the aquarium, which is a new buildable area in your Hearthfire home. That's now being confirmed, which is pretty exciting. You can find out more details about how the fishing mechanics work in the previous video though, and I'll link that down below if you missed it, and see you there.